You see, I was talking to one of my friends and asked him, buddy, how many streams of income do you have? He said,
60 this year. Throughout its 6-decade-long history, it's been the mission of the college to translate its vision into reality. The vision to empower, enrich, excel and transform young women through quality education. This in turn would enable them to don leadership roles and shoulder social responsibility and thus contribute to a just and equitable society. The college has been unswerving in its discharge of this mission. The Diamond Jubilee of an institution of higher education is a testimony to its successful continuance as a center of learning and a reflection of its sustained service to communities and the larger society. I am happy that Maris Stella has reached this milestone with a proven track record of academic excellence and social justice. We hope we have earned the privilege of your time as we present to you the story of our growth in this documentary, a story of excellence without compromise.
To recount the 60-year history of Maris Stella is to tell a story of exceptional contribution to the cause of women's education. It is a narrative of struggle and service, commitment and achievement, passion and dedication on the part of many, the founders, benefactors, citizens, well-wishers, officials, parents, staff, students and alumni. 9th April 1962 will always be a memorable day in the annals of Vijayawada. On this day, the foundation was laid for the first women's college in the region by no less a person than the then Chief Minister of the state, Sri Neelam Sanjeeva Reddy Garu. To make this possible, the support of benefactors such as Siris Raju Garu, Shan Bag Garu, Mukkamala Nagabhushanam Garu, Ramachandra Rao Garu, KLN Prasad Rao Garu, Dr. Pinnamneni Venkateshwar Rao Garu and Katragadda Raghuramaya Garu was exceptional, and the institution will forever be indebted to them. The first batch of 8 students entered the portals of Maris Stella College on 16th July 1962. From then on, it has been a story of phenomenal growth to become one of the premier institutions of Andhra Pradesh. This formidable and challenging task was begun by the foundress, Sister Anne Marie Daly, popularly remembered as Mother Provincius, a remarkable lady with an aspiring personality, influenced all those who came into contact with her. The college was indeed very fortunate to have her as the first principal, shining like a multifaceted diamond, each facet shining brighter than the other. Other pioneering personalities who made invaluable contributions were Mother Francois Leonard, Sister Teresita Polycarpus, Sister Sylvester, Sister Anjulius, and faculty members like Karuna Babji, daughter of a benefactor Mukkamala Nagabhushanam Garu, Mrs. Kanakadurga, and the late Mrs. Rama Manohar. All of them helping to nurture the seed sown 60 years ago into the big, strong tree it is today. In their endeavors, they were ever guided by the Star of the Sea, represented in the college emblem as a ship sailing on stormy waters, guided by a star. This is a symbol of the student's life in the midst of tempests, guided by the light of the Star of the Sea, Maris Stella. Driven by the motto, truth and charity, it is the desire of the institution that this truth be the goal of all her students and that everything in their life bear the seal of charity. Blue and gold are the special colors of Maris Stella. Blue symbolizing truth, loyalty and fidelity, and the gold, love, zeal, and charity. We now unfurl before you a chronological record of the 6 decades.
Same year, Stella was selected as a college with potential for excellence by the University Grant Commission. The college was once more transferred in 2010 along with other colleges in the region. This time from the jurisdiction of Acharya Nagarjuna University to the newly set up Krishna University. 2007 welcomed the gentle but firm Dr. Sister Lena Quadras as principal. A systematic mind and a capacity for organization were her strengths. Her long years of academic and administrative experience and her acute vision elevated her to the position of Provincial Superior of Mumbai Province in 2008. The young and energetic Dr. Sister Jepamalai was her successor as a principal of Stella College. She held office from 2008 to 2013. 7 faculty members were awarded PhD and 4 were designated as readers. Dr. Girija Nambiar and Dr. K. Sandhya, both from the Department of English, received the State Government Award for Meritorious Service from the Chief Minister in 2005 and 2007 respectively. They were also recognized as external research directors under the purview of Acharya Nagarjuna University. Annual intercollegiate meets such as Prajna and Samanvay by different departments provided a platform for students to showcase their talents to promote native culture. One outstanding event in this respect was the Girijana Mahotsav, organized by the language departments in collaboration with the Tribal Welfare Association, during which the famous Koya and Dhimsa dances were performed on the Stella stage by authentic tribal dancers. Environmental concerns led to the founding of an eco-club whose immediate objective was to reduce the use of plastic and other non-degradable waste on campus. A women's cell was launched to address issues specific to women. A newsletter, Stella Scope, to disseminate news of the multifarious college activities was also launched. Autonomous status was extended up to 2016 by the UGC. Recognition for the initiatives taken by the college came in the form of awards for the Best Eco-Friendly College, Best Library, and Best Laboratories conferred by Acharya Nagarjuna University. Distinguished visitors like veteran Telugu actor Akkineni Nageswarrao Garu and playback singer P. Susila Garu were received with much excitement and adulation by the campus community in September 2005. Stella was also honored by the visits of General Councillors of the FMM from Rome, Sisters Mary Donlon FMM and Helen Mendonça FMM. The decade culminated with the Golden Jubilee celebrations, held through the year from 16th July 2011 to 16th July 2012. The 50th College Day celebration was held on 14th July 2012. It was graced by the Honorable Speaker of the Legislative Assembly of Andhra Pradesh, Sri Nadendra Manohar.
2012 to 2022, the last 10 years, Stella College was fortunate to have the selfless and dedicated services of Dr. Sister Irene Kulreka Mudatta from 2013 to 2018. Simple, committed, and pure at heart, she worked with untiring zeal, her compassion and thoughtfulness enveloping both humans and animals. Immediately, on taking charge, she welcomed the NAC peer team to the campus for the 3rd cycle of assessment and accreditation. The college retained the A grade, securing 3.24 points. Since then, the college has been assessed and accredited by NAC in the 4th cycle. The college has been ranked by India Today regularly and has ISO certification. In June 2018, Dr. Sister Jacinta Quadras, former principal of Stella College, Chennai, assumed charge from Dr. Sister Kulreka Mudatta. She has brought with her vast administrative experience, international exposure, and an unswerving dedication to the cause of education, and is steering the college with a firm and steady hand. In her tenure, several new programs have been introduced in the last decade. Currently, the college is offering 6 intermediate, 24 UG, and 5 PG programs. Several new MOUs with institutions such as Christ University and organizations such as Bajaj facilitate academic collaboration and skill development for the benefit of staff and students. Recognizing the need for skilled youth, the college has been offering an increasing number of skill-oriented courses and encouraging and facilitating internships and on-the-job training. Life skill courses, skill development courses, certificate courses are part of the UG curriculum. Students are also offered regular coaching for competitive exams and given special sessions on job skills. A good number of organizations, including prominent ones such as Infosys, TCS, Wipro, and Eureka Forbes, have been offering placements to students. Infrastructure augmentation is a regular feature of development initiatives at Maris Stella. A huge indoor stadium with a seating capacity of 1,500 was constructed with financial support from the UGC and inaugurated in 2014 by Koneru Hampi, Grandmaster and winner of the Arjun Award for chess, ranked world number 3. A new block adjoining the administrative block has just been completed, creating additional classrooms, conference halls, examination section, and administrative office space. We are grateful to the architect, Mr. Joseph Austin, Trinity Associates, Chennai, for his generosity in extending his expert guidance and supervision in the construction of the block. Grants for development were received from various sources. We are grateful to the UGC for the CPE grant of 1.4 crore for upgradation of infrastructure. Under the RUSA scheme, the college was sanctioned an amount of 2 crore rupees for building and infrastructure development work. In 2019, the college received grants from the United Board towards faculty development programs and service learning. The college has been associated with the US Consulate since 2019 and have benefited from several programs offered by American institutions and the federal government. In 2020, 2 students, 2 more students in 2021 from Maris Stella were chosen for the student exchange program Study of the US Institutes to visit the US for 5 weeks at US federal government expense. 30 students attended the Academic Readiness Boot Camp and were certified in the 10-week-long online academic reading course offered by the Regional English Language Office at US Embassy, New Delhi, in collaboration with Indiana University in 2021. A virtual English language program funded by the US federal government was launched on 30th August 2021 by the principal Dr. Sister Jacinta Quadras and David Moyer, Public Affairs Officer, US Consulate General, Hyderabad. Sylvia Place Hillsham, Fellow of the program, trained 3 batches of students. The program was completed on 16th December 2021. The 10-month in-person program is due to begin soon with Shannon Smith as the new fellow. It is set to be completed in November 2022.
More than 20 faculty development programs have been held during the last few years to equip faculty with skills required for ICT-enabled teaching, learning and evaluation, which proved fortuitous when the pandemic necessitated an emergency switch to blended modes of teaching and learning. The faculty have also won appreciation as resource persons and have participated in 171 symposiums, national and international conferences, refresher courses, and workshops in recent years. They have published research papers in national and international journals and contributed chapters in books. They have been the recipients of several awards, most notably Dr. Ramakrishna, Department of Sanskrit, was recognized by the Andhra Pradesh government for meritorious service. He was also the recipient of the prestigious Dr. Pinnamaneni and Srimati Sita Devi Foundation Award for the year 2019 for his outstanding contribution to the promotion of Sanskrit studies. He received the Best Teacher Award from Lions Club and the Upadhyaya Mitra Award from the Satyamurthy Charitable Trust, Visakhapatnam. Dr. K. Sandhya received an international award in literature. Sister Sahaya, head of the Department of Social Work, won appreciation for her initiative in launching the first anti-human trafficking club in collaboration with International Justice Mission in the state of Andhra Pradesh. Students' performance in academics was outstanding in 2016-2017. The toppers were felicitated by the Andhra Pradesh government for securing the highest percentage. They were honored with gold medals and cash prize of rupees 20,000 each. The students did not lag in extracurricular activities either. In competitions hosted by various institutions in and around Vijayawada, our students excelled. Special mention must be made of J. Rishita, who secured first prize in PowerPoint presentation on dairy technology in Andhra Pradesh government program, Jnana Bheri, and received cash prize worth 1 lakh from the then Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Sri Nara Chandrababu Naidu. She was selected to represent Andhra Pradesh to make a presentation in Parliament and was commended by Prime Minister Modi. She was also one of the 2 students selected in the student exchange program's study of the US Institute's SUSI.
Hi everyone, I'm Rishita Jaladi and I recently finished my Bachelor's in Sciences from Stella College, Vijayawada. It was an amazing journey. It was an amalgamation of fun and learning. So it was a very nice experience for me in the entire college. The infrastructure, the faculty, the library, it was all beautiful. Stella has provided me the platform to explore, invent and make me a better version of myself. So all thanks to Stella and the faculty and the supporting staff who made me what I am today. So if you want to build a career the way you want, then Stella is the right choice. Happy to be a part of Stella.
Protection and conservation of the environment is part of the mission of the college. The Green Campus program, the Eco Ambassadors project, solar panels for renewable energy, protection and enhancement of biodiversity are some of the eco-friendly initiatives on the campus. Since the national lockdown due to the pandemic beginning 25th March 2020, Stella has been doing its bit for community and country. Representatives of college management, staff and students, with the support of the authorities, visited 3 shelter homes in Vijayawada to distribute kits to migrant workers and needy persons. With the help of contributions from faculty, both in service and retired, 150 packs of groceries were distributed. A unit of Raitu Bazaar, a farmer's market, was permitted to operate on the college campus. The indoor stadium was used for distribution of ration. Besides the outreach initiatives, the response of the institution to the pandemic has been superb. Remarkable was the response of the faculty to the crisis created by the pandemic in terms of teaching learning, preparing video lessons and holding online classes whenever needed, all through the course of these pandemic months. Simultaneously, many have finished online professional development courses during this period.
Much has been achieved in the 60 years. More remains to be done in our pursuit of excellence. We are aware that excellence is never an accident. It is the result of high intention, sincere effort, intelligent direction, skillful execution, and the vision to see obstacles as opportunities. Precious 60 diamond years of committed service as an Herculean task with no compromise in quality and dedication. In the space of these diamond years, Maristella College will never forget all it owes to every dedicated soul. The aim of our college is to continue to grow in the spirit of its foundation, carefully preserving the noble traditions laid down by the Institute. May we continue to shine for the next generation and beyond as we achieve excellence together.
లింక్
From
కదా
then
లింక్
on,
ఎడిట్ మోడ్ తీసేయాలి కదా. అవునంట శాంత టోల్డ్ మీ. అవును అవును. సర్వీస్ లెర్నింగ్ క్లాస్ ఉంది సిస్టర్ కూడా. Two of the students went for some programming. 7 are there in the class. What I should do? ఇప్పుడు వాళ్ళు ఇంత వరకు చెప్పాల, అది గ్రూప్ ప్రాజెక్టా ఇండివిజువల్ ప్రాజెక్టా? జోస్నా మ్యామ్ అడిగితే వెయిట్ చేయండి 2 days, ఇప్పుడే ఆమె అది ఇచ్చింది కదా మినీ ప్రాజెక్ట్ కి. షీ విల్ గివ్ అంటుంది, వెయిట్ జస్ట్ 2 days 2 days.
Please mute yourself.
Huh? 4 o'clock, 2 to 4.
Mr. Please mute yourself. I am Mr. Mr. Please.
మీ స్టూడెంట్స్ ఎక్కడ ఉంటారు మ్యామ్ మీ యువర్ సన్ సర్వీస్ లర్నింగ్ పీపుల్ పైన
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Biochemistry Department, Stella College, I invite you all for this webinar. First of all, I would like to give you the apology for waiting you for so much long time. So please, thank you so much for bearing with us. Let's begin our program by invoking God's blessings for our program.
चला कि उसको
Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul. Worship His holy name. Sing like never before, oh my soul. I worship Your holy name. The sun comes up, it's a new day dawning. It's time to sing Your song again. Whatever may pass and whatever lies before me, let me be singing when the evening comes. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul. Worship His holy name. Sing like never before, oh my soul. Worship Your holy name. You're rich in love and You're slow to anger. Your name is great and Your heart is kind. For all Your goodness I will keep on singing. 10,000 reasons for my heart to find. So bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul. Worship His holy name. Sing like never before, oh my soul. I worship Your holy name. And on that day when my strength is failing, the end draws near and my time has come, still my soul will sing Your praise unending.
So once again, a very warm welcome to all of you. It gives me an immense pleasure and warmth and a great pleasure to praise all of you for your presence in this webinar. Thank you in advance for joining this webinar and bearing with patience with us. So I welcome all of you for this webinar on advances in forensic science and opportunities for higher studies and jobs. So it gives me tremendous contentment to welcome you all. On behalf of Biochemistry Department, I would like to offer my special thanks to our resource person, Dr. R.K. SARIN, who acknowledged our invitation to give the talk of forensic science. Now I request Ms. Alicia to give a brief introduction about Dr. SARIN.
Good afternoon, everyone. So let me introduce today's resource person, Dr. Rajendra sir. Dr. Sarin started his career as a forensic scientist in the year 1980 from FSL Madhuban after serving other national laboratories. Central Revenue Control Laboratory, Central Bureau of Excise and Customs, MO Finance, Government of India, and Food Research and Standardization Laboratory, Directorate General of Health Services, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India from 1986 to 1995. He joined in Central Forensic Science Laboratory, Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India, tenure in the year 1995 as the Assistant Director, and further he worked in Central Forensic Science Laboratory, Minister of Home Affairs, Government of India, Hyderabad as Assistant Director Chemistry, Director Toxicology in 2010. Afterward, he was appointed as a director in charge for establishing Central Forensic Science Laboratory, Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India, Bhopal, and he worked there till 2012. In the year 2013, he was appointed as director, State Forensic Science Laboratory, Government of NCE of Delhi, at Delhi, and he worked till 2016. In the year 2016, he was also appointed as director, Central Forensic Science Laboratory, MHA, Government of India, Hyderabad. He worked there till his superannuation, that is June 2017. In February 2018, he was again appointed as director, Andhra Pradesh State Forensic Science Laboratory, Government of Andhra Pradesh. In the year 2011 to 12, he has credit of establishing of Central Forensic Science Laboratory in temporary premises as Bhopal, and also initiated establishment of CNSL Bhopal in permanent premises. In the year 2013 to 16, he has credit of operating the Delhi State Forensic Science Laboratory, Government of NCE of Delhi at Rohini, by creating additional infrastructure, accommodation, and human resources, and reducing huge pendency of crime cases, waiting 3 to 7 years for forensic examination. The capacity building of forensic examination of crime cases, he has established one more regional forensic science laboratory at Chanakya-Puri, Delhi. Apart from establishing 24/7 mobile crime scene facility at State FSL, Rohini, Delhi. At present, he is establishing Andhra Pradesh State Forensic Science Laboratory at Tech Tower, Mangalgiri, in temporary premises to quick-start the facility of forensic examination of crime cases, and also establishing APSFSL in permanent premises at Amravati, the new capital of Andhra Pradesh. He is also putting efforts to upgrade the 5 regional forensic science laboratories in 5 districts of Andhra Pradesh, and also establish new regional forensic science laboratories in the remaining 8 districts of Andhra Pradesh. He has conducted national and international level training programs and workshops as the course director. He acted as examiner for thesis submitted for PhD degree for Gujarat University, Ahmedabad, Vijayawada University, Jhansi, Amity University, Noida, Punjabi University, Punjab University, Chandigarh. He also acted as theory and practical examiner and paper setter for MSc Forensic Science courses of LNG National Institute of Criminology, Forensic Science, Delhi, Kurukshetra University, Delhi University, Maharishi Dayanand University, Rohtak, Osmania University, Hyderabad, Amity University, Noida, Punjab University, Patiala, and Punjab University, Chandigarh. He published his research contribution in the form of 65 research papers in various national and international journals of repute, and also his 33 research papers were accepted for oral poster presentation in various national and international conferences and seminars. He has guided 15 research scholars for the award of PhD degree in chemistry and forensic science. In the year 2010, he visited Federal Bureau of Investigation (FBI) Forensic Laboratory, Quantico, Virginia, USA, the Government of India, MHA Interactive Program of CSL with the scientists forensic scientists of FBI. He attended and he was a member of organizing committee to conduct the police duty meet competitions in the first AP police duty meet. And he also acted as a judge in various forensic competitions in the duty meet. Over to you, madam.
Thank you so much, Sister. Workshop for the introduction again. Now I welcome SARIN sir to this talk. Welcome, sir.
Hello. Yes, Madam Jayaprada, are you able to?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
You're audible, sir.
Am I audible, madam?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Audible, but your sound, your voice is vibrating. I don't know why. There is a background. I think no problem. So let me start. Already sorry for the delay because I was told that 2 to 4 there is a slot. Any slot I can take. I took because I went outside. So 3 o'clock slot I have taken. First of all, I will like to thank to the management of Mary Stella College for inviting and giving me this opportunity to interact with your students, which would be the future of our forensic science. So I especially thanks to principal sister Jessica Quadres and the organizer, Madam Dr. Alice Jayaprada. Thank you very much, Madam. So let me start my talk and will give an opportunity for the student to interact because they have many questions in their mind why they have chosen forensic science and what will be their future. So let me start. I'm sharing my slides. First of all, I want to discuss about the forensic science. They should understand what is forensic science. It's a very big science. Everybody knows that it involves all the science as well as technology, all branches of science and technology whenever required for the law implementation purpose that comes under the category of forensic science. So, is it visible to all of you?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
So the topic given to me is advances in forensic science and opportunities for higher studies. This is a higher study, this we can discuss. But advances in forensic science. So before going for an advances, at least we should know about what is forensic science. So forensic science, you know, it originated from the Latin word. I think you are already running a course of forensic science. You might have already explained to the students about the how the word originated. Actually in the it is a word forum, which is a Latin word which was used in the ancient time especially in the it is a Latin word and in the Greece it was a place for the debates. So it was a forum earlier where the government issues were discussed and settled. So later on, this forensic, where the justice was administered in the marketplace in ancient time. So it now from forum to forensics, and then from forensics only the word forensics of forensic science was adopted and related to the administration of justice, while this continued to use the word forum adopted for the public speaking place or platform. Forum remained as it is for the public speaking, while the forensics was adopted for the administration of the justice, or now it is related to the criminal justice system. So you know first what is science and what is forensic science. What is the difference? Science, that is the two functions that know the things and to do the things. Then technology is also involved in forensic science. So what is technology? It's knowledge gained through science applied by means of tools and techniques. So forensic science, if you define the forensic science, the use of science and technology in the investigation of the crime constitutes a new branch of science that is called forensic science. It's total science and technology. Then forensic science, in other terms, you can, in a broad term, you can say pertaining to law. Science pertaining to law or for law enforcement purpose. So forensic science in another definition is used for the resolution of the conflicts when in a legal framework. And there is a synonymous word that is called criminalistics. that is forensic science, a term used in USA that is called criminalistics. Uh, the forensic scientist, who is forensic scientist? Forensic scientist is the scientist engaged in the extensive scientific investigation and who performs crucial task of scientific evaluation of physical evidences. This is the important point, physical evidence. This is all in forensic science, we are focused to physical evidence only. So we have to evaluation of physical evidence with our technical or scientific expertise. That is forensic science. So the forensic scientist's job is this. And what is evidence then? Physical evidence is one evidence which is mostly we are concerned. We'll come to know in the next slides that what is physical evidence. So evidences are the information, tangible or intangible, placed before the judiciary to assist them in determining the truth or falsity of the allegations against the accused. So this is the definition of the evidence. So then what do a forensic scientist do? Forensic scientist performs a chemical and physical test on evidence submitted by police officers to resolve the legal issue. So the duty of the forensic scientist is to analyze evidence received from the police, and that too physical evidence only, except in forensic psychology where there is no physical evidence, only we study the brain thoughts and others. So but another everywhere there is any ballistics, chemistry, physics, everywhere there is a physical evidences which we examine. So the next duty of the forensic scientist is to prepare reports and describe their results, and then go to the court of law and give the court testimony. For that court testimony is to they verify that whatever we do is correct and absolutely correct, and they ask the cross questioning also by the defense lawyer, and even the prosecutor also in the form of an examination chief, he examines us that whether we have an expertise in that field or not. So this is what forensic science is doing and how he is examined. Then the most important part is the physical evidence. So Dr. Edmund Lockhart, he has given a principle that is, if you see laws of forensic science, this is the one of the most important law of forensic science, where the forensic science, due to this finding, this hypothesis given by the Sir Edmund Lockhart. So it is the every contact leaves trace. Whenever there is a contact, whenever there is contact between the two, there is definitely, according to the Lockhart principle, when two objects comes into contact, there is a definitely exchange of material and transference or exchange of material, and from one object to the other. And even the contact between the criminal and the crime scene also, they leave something, some traces of material, or take something from the crime scene. So that is what physical evidence is. This whatever exchange is taken, we have to collect and preserve that and evaluate scientifically and give our report that this is though the two objects were sometimes after some time maybe miles away from each other, but they might have come in contact somewhere in the past. So this is the basic principle for establishing the evidence. Then if the physical evidence is evaluated scientifically, it will prove that the two objects have been in the contact at some time, even though they may be miles apart when located. So this links the crime with the criminal or the crime spot also. The examination of the physical evidence by a forensic scientist is usually undertaken by identification and comparison purpose. Means we perform two tasks. One is the identification Other is the comparison. Identification means individualization, that this is this, and this person is this, and this material is this. Like heroine is, this is the heroine, that is the identification. And comparison means two things are matching, like two cloth pieces are matching, two paints are matching, which found in the accident with the two cars. So like this is a comparison. So total forensic science is based on identification and comparison purpose only. So next is the physical evidence. They already explained in the Lockhart principle. So any object that through its examination or analysis can establish that a crime has been committed and can provide a link between the culprit and the weapon of offense, or the victim, or the object surrounding him and the crime scene, is called physical evidence. So physical evidence may be visible or it may be invisible. It is visible after suitable development, like fingerprints and DNA. So they are not visible, but some evidences are visible, we can collect. But some evidence like fingerprint we develop, and DNA we collect, and then we develop the DNA profile. So how they are two types of physical evidence there are movable evidence. These are physical evidences that are found in loose condition at the crime scene, on the culprit or on the victim. Examples are hair, fiber, bullet, cartridges, case, soil, glass, fragments, etc. Then there are fixed evidences. These are physical evidences which, due to their nature, size, structure, and other physical properties, cannot be removed from the crime scene. For example, fingerprints, if we will remove, it will be destroyed. So footprints on dust or mud, these footprints cannot be taken, these fingerprint and footprint which are on the dust or mud, so that will be destroyed. So blood, there and there itself we have to take the impression, develop the fingerprint, and then we take that photograph. So these are the fixed evidences. Similarly, blood stain on the road, etc. Similarly, anything which is due to some reason, like CCTV cameras, which are at the strategic position on the main chaurasta, then they cannot be removed, because if we remove even for a few minutes, it will cause for an accident or to some other purpose, for surveillance purpose, for security purpose, or some wall is there. So if it is a fixed wall and something stain is there on that, the total wall we cannot take for as a physical evidence. So these are some of the physical evidences. They are movable or fixed, movable and immovable. Then what type of physical evidences we collect? They are body materials like blood, semen, saliva and hair. These three are the body fluids like blood, semen and saliva. Then botanical materials like wood and other vegetable material. Then chemical substances like drugs, alcohols, explosive powders, and then detecting dyes and paints, etc. Then weapons like firearms, ammunition and their discharge residues, tool marks like a screwdriver, crowbar, etc. Then impression like tire impression, shoe prints, depression in soft soils, gloves and other fabric impressions, bite marks in the skin and foodstuffs. These are all the physical evidences, comes under the category of impression. Then fibers, the natural or synthetic, because we exchange all these things. Something comes in touch with the exchange, it takes place between the culprit and the victim and the crime spot also. So those fibers can be identified that that person came into the contact with a, that suppose he is an accused and came into contact with a victim or that crime scene area. Then some more are there like documents, paper, ink. These are all documents are sent to the laboratory and they are for the examination. In that documents, paper, ink, indented writing or obliteration, these are sent as a physical evidence. Then organs and physiological fluids like poisons. Organs, viscera are sent to the toxicology section, and some of the physiological fluids like semen, blood, etc. are also sent. So these are one of the type of physical evidence. Then soil and materials. Then soil also sent, because some soil stick to your shoes or some other place, and the control sample is taken, then it is compared. Then glass particles or fragments, window on window panes, holes, etc., and bullet or other projectiles. That also one of the evidence. Glass is also one of the evidence. And then electronic and electrical devices, like in software piracy, and in software that deletion of data, then so many other type of crimes. So these are the some of the evidences, like software, hardware, computer peripherals, voice and video recorders, DVR, etc. Then another category of evidence is building materials. Suppose some building collapsed, and due to material is sent for the examination, whether in a proper ratio and a proper quality material has been used or not. So cement, mortar, concrete, etc. These are sent to the FSLs. Then serial numbers. This serial number erase numbers of vehicle and valuable gadgets. Means identification purpose. Some of the like vehicles also have a chassis number and engine number. So those serial numbers sometimes tampered, and these tampered numbers are deciphered again by some chemical techniques. So they are sent to the laboratory for identifying the original number. Some other number is put on that, and for deciphering it is sent that what was the original number, that is chassis number and engine number for the vehicles especially, because in your registration these two numbers are the specific for that particular vehicle. So this is also one of the physical evidence. Now, what are the divisions of the forensic science lab? Biology, DNA, serology. You may be knowing what is done in the biology. Mostly biology is a broader term, but now it is a separate division. And in biology, normal cases of like clothes, rape and others coming for the serological examination. And serology is also a separate division, but for botanical, some plant or some pollen grain or some other material, plant material, and in biology section they do like in cases of diatoms. These are all done in biology. And then DNA, you know, latest technology has been come now from last 20 years. All the officials are equipped with DNA equipment. They are comparing. This is a very unique, this is a very specific and very, there is no ambiguity. There is for identification purpose, this DNA is being used. Now serology is also not in use much, but because DNA is a costly technology, so still serology also used for identification purpose, for human identification and other purposes also. Then chemistry section has to do arson cases or bribe trap cases or some other cases which are unknown chemicals, and they do sometime explosive section is not separate, so explosive material also coming after blast to identify specific explosives. Then there is a narcotics. So narcotic drugs and psychoactive substances, they are controlled substances, banned substances. Somebody is using it or selling it, then to identify them that this is morphine, this is cocaine, this is heroin. So narcotic section is also there. Then toxicology section, they examine the viscera for poisoning cases and the body tissue, and the body fluids are also coming in the toxicology section for identifying any poison is there or not. Then computer forensics means all data for data retrieval purpose, deleted data, and some other purposes also for whatever the stored in the computer. That is also a separate branch called cyber forensics. And then there is a document section for handwriting and for false signature, for various type of documents are coming laboratory. Then polygraph and forensic psychiatry, this branch is also there, but whether this polygraph and forensic psychiatry, they do the polygraph means for lie detection purpose, and this also there are polygraph is used for lie detection, and there are some other equipments like brain mapping, and there is narco analysis also done there. This is an investigative technique, although it is not a confirmatory technique, but still there is a less polygraph and forensic psychiatry cases are coming because of the Supreme Court has taken decision 2010. 12 it came implemented that Selby versus State of Karnataka, that there is not necessity that everybody you can take the consent that he will give the polygraph test or any other narco analysis or brain mapping, but after that judgment that consent is to be taken before magistrate. Police consent is not enough for doing the test. So now the number of cases are reduced, but still it is an investigative technique and gives a clue if in a blind cases that somebody is telling lie. So there is who is telling lie, who is telling correct. So through in finding the culprit on investigation purpose. Then ballistic section for firearms and others used in the crime, they are compared. Then physics section, there are accident cases, there are nowadays this audio video section is separate, otherwise authentication of voice and authentication of the video, also audio video authentication purpose in the physics section, and some for this now the earlier time for building material other examination is also done there in the physics section, and so many in the examination of the in the cases of paint analysis where there is an accident of the two vehicles. So these are some of the examples. Then there is a forensic engineering where now this is a new branch coming up where all the machine failures or the building collapse for civil engineering, all these cases are done. So the various techniques used in forensic science are the commonly used are thin layer chromatography, high performance thin layer chromatography, gas chromatography, then gas chromatography with mass spectrometry, high performance liquid chromatography, and liquid chromatography with mass spectrometry, ion chromatography, ultraviolet spectroscopy, photometry, then infrared spectrophotometry, atomic absorption spectrophotometry, and inductively coupled plasma optical emission ICP mass spectrometry. These are all for identification purpose, for the separation and identification of the material, whatever physical evidence we have received. Mostly these techniques are for organic, except this atomic absorption and ICP. So there are other techniques like X-ray diffraction, X-ray fluorescence, then scanning electron microscope and energy dispersive X-ray and comparison microscope. These are some of the techniques commonly used, but we have to know about some of the techniques of the advanced techniques which are being now coming slowly to in the forensic labs or in the forensic field. So these are some of the things like laser ablation, inductively coupled plasma spectrometry. The use of it is when broken glasses is involved in crime, putting together even in tiny pieces can be key to finding important clues like the direction of bullets, the force of impact, or the type of weapons used in the crime. Because it's a highly sensitive technique and isotopic recognition ability it has, because this laser ablation ICP-MS machine breaks broken glass samples of almost any size down to their atomic structure. They can examine, and then forensic scientists are able to match even the smallest shard of glass found on the clothing to a glass sample from the crime scene. Means it can go up to the nano level identification also. So very small pieces of the glass that can be recognized and compared. Not nano, sorry I told you, but very microgram and below that also, that small pieces of the glass can be compared. Then there is another technique that is called alternative light photography. a camera, this is a skin camera such as the Omnichrome uses blue light and orange filters to clearly show bruising below the skins of the surface. So because sometime below the skin, somebody's scuffle has taken place in some cases, then you have to find out below the skin also it can recognize. And there is another equipment called high speed ballistic photography. And generally we use for comparison microscope, and it has a provision for cameras are there. But this high speed ballistic photography, this ballistic specialists often use high speed cameras in order to understand how bullet holes, gunshot wounds, and glass shatters are created, and means to how this has been formed is original one we can understand. And virtually anyone from a crime scene investigator to a firearm examiner can operate a high speed camera without any additional education or training. So then there is another video spectral comparator. Now this is an old one. Now 8000 has come, this latest machine, that this video spectral comparison job is for crime scene investigation and forensic scientists. This is one of the most valuable forensic technologies anywhere. With this machine, scientists and investigators can look at a piece of paper and see obscured or hidden writings, determine quality of papers and origin, and lift indented writings. It is sometimes possible to complete these analyses even after a piece of paper has been so damaged by water or fire that it looks unintelligible to be naked eyes, not legible with the naked eye. That can also be seen with video spectral comparator, which is now 8000 model has come. This is very useful equipment in the document examination. Then digital surveillance for Xbox XFT device. Actually, in fact, one of the most groundbreaking forensic technologies for digital forensic specialists in XFT is being developed to allow authorities visual access to the hidden files on the Xbox and hard drive. The XFT is also set up to record access session to be replayed in real time during court hearing. So this is especially this is meant for the hidden files which are normally not able to see with the help of this machine only. And this is for the surveillance purpose also, that somebody is taking something which is not seen with a normal computer or normal things. So those hidden files. So this digital surveillance for Xbox XFT devices, this is another technique. Latest technology is being developed. Then there is a 3D forensic facial reconstruction. This technique, 3D facial reconstruction software, takes a real-time live human remains and extrapolates a possible physical appearances. Earlier, there was a video superimposition technique for facial reconstruction, and now there is software has been developed which is for unknown bodies. What would have been the probable face, with the help of software can be developed, which is called 3D forensic facial reconstruction software. And then there is another DNA sequencer. This DNA sequencer, there is a genetic analyzer, but DNA sequencer is a new generation DNA sequencer. Earlier it was only a genetic analyzer which is capillary based. So this DNA sequencer, most people are familiar with the importance of DNA testing in the forensic science lab. Still, most people don't know exactly what DNA sequences are and how they may be used. Most forensic and crime lab techniques use what's called DNA profiling to identify criminals and victims using trace evidence, like hair or skin sample. In case where those samples are highly degraded, they often turn to the more powerful DNA sequencer, which allows them to analyze old bones or teeth to determine the specific ordering of the person, DNA nucleobase, and generate a read or unique DNA pattern that can be help identify this person as a possible suspect or criminal. Already capillary based genetic analyzers are there, but for the degraded new generation DNA sequencer, this new generation analyzers have come. So that new generation, they are sequencing based, and they have a number of markers up to 100 for comparison. Here, only in capillary, there are only 23 markers are available. So they have a more capability for even a degraded samples. These are some of the technologies. Another one is carbon dating. That carbon dating has long been used to identify the age of unknown remains for anthropological and archaeological finding. The amount of radiocarbons calculated in a carbon 14 increased and decreased to distinct levels over 50 years. It is now possible to use this technique for forensic remains using this some tool. The only means how many old this body is. All these things can be done. The only people in the forensic science field that have already access to carbon 14 dating equipment are forensic scientists. Then there is a magnetic fingerprinting and automated fingerprinting identification system. This is fingerprinting fingerprint is the oldest technique for this forensic purpose, but now automatic software has come called AFIS. This is called automated fingerprint identification. So they have a database and they can identify and they can compare also in a very less time. The old manual system now totally reflects an automated fingerprint identification system has come, which is software based. With these forensic technologies, crime scene investigator, forensic scientist, and police can quickly and easily compare a fingerprint at a crime scene with an extensive virtual database. Additionally, the incorporation of magnetic fingerprint dust and non-touch wanding allows investigators to get a perfect impression of fingerprints at a crime scene without contamination. These are then another latest things is link analysis software for forensic accountants. You see, there is another new branch coming up that is called forensic auditing and forensic accounting. So this software, when a forensic accountant is trying to track illicit funds through a sea of paperwork, means earlier auditors and everybody has to see all files, all the accounts, then only able to know is there any problem or any that some funds have been misappropriated or not. But now it is all software based, and link analysis software is an invaluable tool to help highlight strange financial activities. This software combines observation of unusual digital financial transactions and customer profiling and statistics to generate probabilities of illegal behavior. So these techniques are able to unearth forensically this very important information, and it is being done by providing unprecedented levels of analytical selectivity and sensitivity. These innovative ranges of information and rich data sets can put in facts crucial to the reconstruction of events and thereby increases the probability of an accurate findings in the affair of under investigation. So then one more technique I have to discuss, that is also capillary electrophoresis. Why this is also an advanced technique? No doubt it is not very advanced in biotechnology or biochemistry field, but because it is for DNA, there is a capillary based DNA genetic analyzers are there that for DNA profiling, that they are capillary based, but for in organic molecules and inorganic molecules identification, this is nowadays in replacing the gas chromatography and high performance liquid chromatography, because it has its own advantages and it is a very powerful separation technique, and with adding one detector it can detect, and before it is separated with this. So what is capillary electrophoresis? This is the most efficient separation techniques for the analysis of both macro and micro molecules, and can be used. Macro means polymers and micro means other organic molecules, and can be used for rapid and efficient separation of charred components present in a small sample volume. Charged components present in the small sample of volume. Uh, that is, uh, this is a microchemical technique. Means there is a necessary that the component to be analyzed should be in a charged condition. So that's why it is applicable on ions. But now with some modification, with some mode, there are 4 to 5 modes of capillary electrophoresis. It even the neutral molecules can also be can be non-polar molecules can also be analyzed. We'll just discuss. The resolution is unprecedented. It is highly efficient. It is far, far better than the HPLC, or even better than the GLC also, because it's a powerful technique. GLC is normally, gas chromatography is a very powerful separation technique compared to HPLC due to certain other reasons, because efficiency is low in HPLC, uh, because there is a theoretical plates are less. That's why but the HPLC has its own advantage, because for volatile components which are under experiment, GC can separate the peak, resolve the peak, but for high performance liquid chromatography is required when there is a volatility of sample is not there under experimental condition of the GC, which cannot be volatilized because it's a gas chromatography. So then HPLC has a limitation that separation is poor. Then CE has been developed, so which is very efficient, and it is a very powerful separation technique. So this, what is the C? The transformation of conventional electrophoresis to modern capillary electrophoresis was revolutionized by the production of inexpensive narrow bore capillary for gas chromatography. This is from actually developed from the gel and normal electrophoresis, which is not performed in the capillary. So, uh, in doing in capillary, what are the advantages and what is the basic instruments? This is this is the basic instrument: source and destination oils, then high voltage power supply, then fused silica capillary, then 2 buffer reservoirs. Capillaries for separation, it's like a column, then 2 buffer reservoirs, then 2 electrodes and 1 column detector, on column detector, sorry, not one, it is on column detector, which is generally UV or fluorescence, then data output and handling device. These are the basic component of a capillary electrophoresis. This is the diagram of the capillary electrophoresis, and I am specifically discussing this for the chemical analysis, not the biomolecules. It is for the normal organic and inorganic molecules, which are generally done with the help of the gas chromatography, high performance chromatography, or in inorganic, inductively coupled or atomic absorption. So this is a technique where there are 2 buffer boils, then there is a detector, then this is detector, and this is anode and cathode are there. In this also buffer is put. Then this is sample void, and this is a high voltage is given. So what is the principle? We'll see that how the sample is introduced. This is hydrostatic, means pressure difference is created and sample is introduced. Means first this is a sample while is kept in place of a buffer void, means here where there is a this sample void. This is sample void is replaced when a sample is introduced, and normal void is kept with the buffer solution. Then there is a 3 modes of introducing sample: hydrostatic, where pressure difference is used; electrokinetic means potentially used; and hydrodynamic means vacuum or pressure is used. So most common adopted mode is hydrodynamic, means vacuum and pressure is used. Then there is how the capillary electrophoresis analyzes and perform. This is first fill the capillary source vial and destination vials. Means source vial and destination vial means like this. One side is source vial, this is source vial, this is destination vial. The solution travels and the sample also travels through this capillary, and then there is a this first capillary source is filled with electrolyte, and that is the aqueous buffer. Then capillary inlet is placed in a sample vial to introduce the sample. Then capillary inlet is placed back to the source vial, and then again after filling the sample, again this is kept to the source vial, and then electric field is applied between source and destination vial, and solute migrates through capillary detectors, and the output is electropherogram, or the detector versus time. Means from anode to cathode that travels, and this principle is the most of the fundamental mechanism of this separation in the electrophoresis utilizes the migration of charged molecules in an applied electrical field, and the separation are accompanied through the movement of ions in an applied electric field, where the charged species migrate to the corresponding electrodes, is governed by the ions electrophoresis mobility and the electro-osmotic flow. Means ultimately they are separated. First the mixture of anions, cations and neutrals, they are separated, then they move, means this then they move to the from anode to cathode only. Everything moves from anode to cathode by changing this by this osmotic flow, due to electro-osmotic flow that flows from anode to cathode. And one by one, that how it moves, that for anode the anions will move, and for cathode the cations will move later. So like this, sorry, it goes to the cathode only. So first cation will move, then there is neutrals, then anions will move. So this modes there are means only charged ions cannot be separated. Some more ions can be separated. Some neutrals can also be separated. Some biomolecules can also be separated. Some amino acids can in a different using different modes. Normally, capillary John electrophoresis is used for the organic and inorganic charged molecules. This first capillary zone electrophoresis is used, CZE. But micellar electrokinetic chromatography, this is MEKC, is used for the neutral molecules, because to make the neutral molecule charged, this micellar is added, and this dodecyl, with the help of dodecyl sulfate and some chemical is used which it will make it charged. Then there is a capillary gel electrophoresis. This is also used for the macromolecules, higher molecular weight, and that allows this gel allows some particular size molecular weight compounds to pass through. So this is a gel. The detail is not given here, only just introducing you the technique. Then there is a capillary isoelectro electric focusing, CIEF, that is for especially for the amino acids and peptides. This is used. Then capillary isotocophoresis, CITP. All these techniques are used according to the application. So this is the advantage of capillary electrophoresis are that system automation means everything not to be done manually. In the gel electrophoresis, it is not, it's manual. Then higher separation efficiency, because it has a because it in electrical field only ions are separated, so it has a very higher separation efficiency. The baseline separation is there. Then there is a sensitivity is 100 to 1000 times more than gas chromatography and HPLC. So then another advantage is its wide pH range for the run buffers compared to the HPLC. HPLC, there is a buffer are used and the pH range is less compared to the capillary electrophoresis, on which the components can be separated. Then there is a higher resolution compared to the GC and HPLC, means theoretical number of traces are more than baseline separation. Resolution peak overlapping is not there. while in SPLC this is a very big problem. Then if you compare SPLC, capillary electrophoresis, in terms of various parameters like time, the long time in SPLC, capillary is very short, resolution is very high in capillary electrophoresis compared to SPLC. This number of theoretical plates are given like here only up to 10,000, here up to 1 lakh. Theoretical plates are there. Then sample volume, here in microliter, here in nanoliters. Very less sample is consumed. Then carrier, large volume, here very less amount of volume is carrier gas is required. Means here volume is buffer volume very small. Then pump. Here pump is used for flowing, and this is applied voltage is there. Then peaks, here narrow, here there are peaks which are not they are broad peaks. So this is all about this. And now time is already 4 o'clock, so I invite all of you and faculty and students. And before that, I want to tell you that for choosing career in forensic science, what is in your mind and what are your expectation? Please tell me. I will answer one by one. And if anything about forensic science you want to ask, you can ask that question also. Thank you.
Sir, I have a doubt. Sir,
yes.
Studying forensic science is one of the subjects. Do they have any eligibility for MSc forensic science, sir?
Your voice is not audible. Please speak loudly.
Sir, issue.
Hello.
Sir.
What doubt?
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are audible. Now, you please tell me.
Yeah, yes, sir. So we are studying forensic science as a subject now in this semester. So do we have scope for joining for MSc forensic science, sir?
Not clear. Your voice is not clear. What is your question? Please tell me again, slowly.
Sir, am I audible, sir, now?
Audible. Yes. Tell slowly.
Yeah, yes, sir. So we are studying forensic science as a subject now in this semester. So do we have
which semester?
this semester, sir, final semester. We are in our final semester, sir.
Final.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So do we have any scope for joining MSc forensic science?
Where you want to join? Where you want to join MSc Forensic Science? There are many universities which are offering. Our university, National Forensic Science University, also offering. But you have to appear in the admission written test. This is multiple choice every year they conduct, and they select some of the students in our university. We have branches all over the India. We have branch at Gandhinagar, Gujarat. That is the main university, and we have a branch at Tripura in northeast, and in North India, Delhi, there is a branch, and then Goa, there is a branch, and in the Middle India, Bhopal, there is a branch of National Forensic Science University. They are inviting every year admission. This year only Bhopal branch started. Last year, Goa and Delhi and Tripura started. Earlier it was in Gujarat, Gandhinagar, main university, where our headquarters is there. So you can apply here also, and you can have in Andhra. There is no MSc Forensic Science course is not there except in Telangana, where Osmania University is offering that course. And one more is there. I forgot. And actually, Acharya Nagarjuna University at Vijayawada is also offering this course. Earlier, it was only for the chemistry specialization. Only now, also only for the chemistry specialization. If you are from the biotechnology field, better to choose biological science, biology for forensic biology as a specialization. Where this specialization is available, that university you only choose. Because I have seen that your college is a college of biotechnology. Biochemistry, sorry.
Actually, they are from microbiology and
Any other question? Hello?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Pardon?
Thank you so much, sir.
No. No. Your student has nobody asked about what is their future after completing BSc and MSc. What are the openings for them? So I want to tell them that as such, forensic science labs having very less number of vacancies for as a career in the teaching line. Some universities also having post of professor, assistant professors, but very less compared to the number of students coming, because there are more than 45 universities are offering institution and offering the course, even PG course. So even PG students are not getting the jobs in government. So there are in private, there is a scope for like somebody is in having cyber forensics. So there is private industry also taking. Similarly, biotechnology people who have a knowledge of DNA profiling and DNA analysis, they also take some of the private industries also. And chemist with pharma and other industries are also, chemical industries are also, because you are taught all analytical techniques. So there is also scope. And in police force, so far now, no post has been reserved for forensic scientists, but they prefer because in investigation it is helpful. So that is another place, and so many insurance companies, they are also settling the claims also. They are using forensic experts' opinion. So private practice, but it is because there is a competition is very high. So many are sitting there without job. So they are doing, they are freelancers, and but still you can choose such a subject which matches with your graduation subject and your specialization subject, so that you can go to the private industry side also.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Now I invite Tanvi for vote of thanks. Any questions? Any questions from audience? Any questions from audience?
Your student are not having any curiosity, because they are the youngsters. They must have so many questions in their mind, in their subject also. But I think they are not taking much interest, only listeners. Anything, don't be shy. Ask in your mind anything about forensic science and your future, your career.
Any questions from your Any questions from forensic biochemistry?
Nobody is asking which branch is most
Hello, sir.
job oriented branch. Nobody is asking this thing. In a specialization, if they go for PG, which branch they should prefer. In fact, first thing is your graduation subjects. Second thing is, nowadays white collar crime has increased like anything. So this cyber forensics and document also, there are a lot of forgery related to document. So at least private practice is possible also in documents. And cyber forensic, in most of the forensics laboratories are overloaded with the cyber forensics. So these branches are very job oriented. Still, other branches are also there: chemistry, these conventional physics, and biology. All these branches also some scope in the private industry also. But as such, for the crime number of cases are increasing in this area.
Thank you so much, sir. So
Thank you.
now I invite Rahani for vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. I'm Rahani on behalf of Department of Biochemistry. I would like to give my special thanks to Principal Dr. Sister Jacinta Congress and Degree Vice Principal K. Anukia ma'am, who gave us permission to organize a webinar for third PSC students. A special thanks to the resource person, Sir SARIN sir, for his wonderful talk. With his talk on forensic science, he has taken our understanding and knowledge about forensic science to new heights. I would thank organizing separately teaching and non-teaching staff for their unflinching support and coordination. Our heartfelt thanks to our student coordinators and students for active participation. With these warm words and kind messages, we move to the end of the webinar today.
And for national anthem. Thank you once again, one and all. With this we close our seminar. Thank you.